Welcome to my June trading results. I've made a little over 3,000 this month. Overall, it was a pretty slow month and there were a couple reasons for that. I'm going to go through all those reasons, including the particularly difficult things that happened this month, as well as some of the great things. I'm unbiased trading, and let's dive straight into this. First off, let's go over my general stats. As you can see here, the equity curve for this month started off going straight down and then made a sudden turnaround, which felt really weird to be honest. The first 3 days were just losses, and that made me quite uncomfortable. I'd planned to increase my position sizing this month, but those 3 losing days threw me off guard straight away. After that, I had winning day after every single day, but it took me a while to realize that the market had shifted. I had overreacted to those initial losses. I'll talk about this a bit more later on, but here's how the equity curve looked for this month. Now let's look at some more general stats. My biggest profit was $945, while my biggest loss was $305. The profit to loss ratio was about 1.9, and I had a 75% win rate, which is really high to be honest. In comparison, the average win rate for this quarter was around 67 or 65%, so I had a pretty good win rate this month. I had a total of 9 winners and 3 losers. Interestingly enough, I had also 9 consecutive winners and 3 consecutive losses. It was a strange month for me, and this really caught me off guard, but overall it was pretty average on everything else. The average hold time for winners was about 6 hours, which makes sense since I usually hold them until end of day. On the other hand, the average hold time for losers was about 32 minutes, which also makes sense because most of my losses happen within the first 30-minute marks if a trade, goes parabolic or something like that in the first 30 minutes. If that doesn't happen, by then it usually ends up being a winning trade or a very small or break-even trade. I should also mention that for this entire quarter, I had 30 winning trades and 14 losers, which made the total amount of trades 44 trades. As you can see, I haven't really been trading much overall, or at least there hasn't been as many opportunities as you may expect in a trading market. Now let's move on to my general thoughts. I've laid out some bullet points, as with these videos, they are more like informal chats and rants. Hopefully you can take away some valuable insights from them. I'm always looking to improve, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be as a trader just yet, but this month was quite interesting for me and I wanted to share my experience. First, I could have increased my position sizing this month, but I let the fear of those 3 initial losses hold me back. Looking back, it was definitely an overreaction, but next I realized that my mistake too late and I had to deal with jury service. I actually posted on Twitter about being stuck in jury service for about a week. It happened right after I had 5 consecutive wins, and by the time I realized I should be sizing up, I couldn't trade because of jury duty. I had to deal with a lot of FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and accept that there was nothing I could do about it. However, I'm extremely proud that I didn't engage in any revenge trading or make impulsive trades on my phone. A couple of years ago, I definitely would have done that, so it's a big sign of progress on my own trading. Sizing has been a consistent issue throughout this quarter. I've been aiming to increase my position sizing for the past 3 months, but I've only made very slight adjustments here and there on a few trades. I've been stuck around the $300 risk mark for quite some time now, and I have to say it's been a very comfortable level for me. Surprisingly, I've been able to make a decent amount of money with this risk level, but it's nothing mind-blowing, and overall, I have a lot more to achieve. As all traders know, starting out is tough and consistency is hard to come by. So now that I've reached this level of consistency, it's actually quite challenging to move beyond it and expand my horizons by risking more and more money. However, expanding my risk is a huge goal of mine. I'm determined to achieve it. I can't say for sure how long it'll take, but I'm putting some pressure on myself and setting out time constraints to motivate myself towards this goal. Of course, I won't set anything drastic like 2 days or anything like that. I'm thinking more on the lines of 2 months or so. It's going to be a major focus for me in the next quarter, and I'll be putting the effort in to make it happen. In addition to that, I plan to continue interacting and networking with larger traders. I'm already connected with some traders who trade with pretty huge positions, risking up to 20 or 30k per trade. Seeing them in action has been eye-opening and very encouraging. It also ignites a sense of healthy competition with me. If they can do it, then why can't I? So there's been a significant motivator for me to keep scaling my risk. Currently, I'm facing a little hurdle, but in the grand scheme of things, 3 months is relatively a short period of time. So I'm not too disheartened that I haven't been able to increase my risk during the past 3 months, but overall, I'm still determined to conquer this obstacle and aim for higher risks. The next stepping stone for me is gradually increasing my risk to about $1,000 per trade. That's my target, and I plan to take baby steps to get there. I'll start by risking maybe an extra $50 here and there, and keep moving up gradually. I found that making sudden jumps, sometimes like going from $300 to $400, after just a couple $400 is actually easier for me to adapt to compare to only increasing in small increments, as I mentioned with $50. It's a personal preference and it's been quite effective for me previously, so I'm going to experiment with both approaches and see what one works. Overall, we're going to make it happen. I want to maintain steady progress in increasing my trade risk, and I don't want to jump straight to $1,000 per trade because I know how overwhelming and negatively impacting it can be on my trading execution. I wouldn't probably be consistent at all if I suddenly jumped that number tomorrow. So I need to find the right balance between pushing myself to increase risk while also maintaining the level of consistency I have at the moment. Now let's talk about the market. We've been experiencing a really good market lately, and at least from my perspective, for my current style of trading, I know this won't apply to everyone as other people always have different styles in trading, but I'm optimistic in probably a week or two, we will witness some kind of explosive move. We'll have some kind of high gapper as we've been getting amazing all-day faders at the moment. The question is, do I wait and try and predict it and then increase my risk? Or do I start sizing up now and just accept that there's probably a possibility of this happening in the future with a streak of losers, but I don't know that for certain. Either decision isn't necessarily bad in the long run. Waiting for 1 to 2 weeks in a short period of time isn't going to destroy my trading. If I were waiting for 4 months to size up, then that would be a bigger issue. So at the moment, I think I'm going to try and experiment risking some more here and there now. I'll probably do the $50 approach at the moment. And then after we see that kind of explosive moves, I'm probably going to start jumping higher and higher to kind of reach that goal for the end of the quarter. Speaking of trading, let's talk about my June trading results. Honestly, nothing too extraordinary happened as I was away for the entire week and couldn't really trade. Overall, this month has provided me with some valuable lessons. Sometimes having to take a step back from not being able to trade can be a blessing in disguise. It gave me the opportunity to reflect and gain perspective. I couldn't actively trade as I had other work obligations such as client work and other business matters at the end of the day, but it was a nice break and not having to worry about jumping onto the scanners in the morning or really placing any risk. By the way, don't forget to share your trading results for the month of June on Twitter or in the comments. I always enjoy seeing everyone's progress, even if it's a down month. It's all part of the journey, as it's important to celebrate and learn from both successes and challenges. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like and share it with anyone else who might be interested, and I hope you had a great trading month.